While 2020 was full of longtime couples calling it quits, 2021 included a handful of newer relationships that couldn't make it to the altar. This past year was not a good year for couples who recently got engaged on the Bachelor franchise. Following a 2020 in which some longtime couples, like Becca Kufrin and Garrett Irigoyen, Ashley Hebert and J.P. Rosenbaum, and Carly Waddell and Evan Bass, decided to call it quits, some fresher relationships in 2021 proved they were not built to last. It is no secret at this point that a couple that ends up together on a Bachelor show is almost certainly going to break up at some point, usually sooner rather than later. That's simply the nature of the show. Couples who choose to get engaged don't know each other that well, and they realize that once they enter the real world. Despite all the heartbreak of this past year, the most recent season of Bachelor in Paradise has thus far proved successful in playing matchmaker. As all three couples that got engaged are still together to this day. That's more an anomaly than the norm in Bachelor Nation, so it deserves to be celebrated. Now, let's get to all the engagements that did not last. Claire and Dale's relationship had experienced a number of ups and downs since Claire decided to end her season early to be with the former NFL player last year. They briefly split and then got back together, attempting to balance lives that were located on opposite coasts. But they could never make it work. While there were no obvious signs it wouldn't work when they gave their relationship another shot, ultimately they weren't on the same page long term. It's only been a few months since they've split, and there's already two other former bachelorettes who have endured a breakup since then. Katie Thurston and Blake Moynes had an uphill battle to climb from the beginning, since Blake's job takes him abroad quite often. It makes it hard for two people who don't know each other that well to start a life together as an engaged couple. It was too much for Katie, and the two broke up only a handful of months after her season stopped airing. Blake was clearly heartbroken. Since this is now the third woman HES dated on The Bachelorette, the other two are listed in this story, and now HES back to square one.